All right, folks. Today we're talking about why Blab is dying, and that's my radio talk show voice because I normally don't talk like that, and they say we should be authentic. So, guys, what do you think about that article on Facebook? Why is Blab dying?
Dun, dun, dun.
Although I have to give an F- for that one because Blab is not dying. Well, I'm going to go about Alexa stats. And the stats, it took a dip over probably in the first quarter, but it's actually going up according to Alexa stats for what the user count. But it doesn't, I don't think it's dying in what it is. I don't think it will die. Right. It will continue to increase its listenerships and viewerships over the course of the time. Again, I think they may have can't just be speculative here, that have a strategy for its first year. They may go after some more big, heavy hitters, so to speak, or influential people. Right. We'll bring them on the stage. There are a lot of people that actually are moving towards this platform. I could say it again. I could definitely say this because I'm going to a conference tomorrow, and their strategies are for speaking engagements and also speaking engagements and master ceremonies. They are pushing it its way where you can actually go out and speak. So I would say probably coming down to August, you'll probably see more increased people coming on the Blab. I don't know Blab is going to. Oh yeah, I'll definitely see that because I think some of the time there are going to be more events happening. Definitely coming down to the business, and it always takes Blab to go in front of these people and do a Blab on platforms like this and expose it to the business sector and stream something live, and they can see live interactions or comments. And once they do that, obviously, people will probably flock. And if it's stable, and again, as was quoted before, their main focus is getting stability. And if they do that, you can go to any conferences, your NSCs, you can go to, your Java JSONs, whatever centers, and they now can see this platform as the quote-unquote go-to person in the streaming industry. Right. Not to say, but remember, I think what we've got to, going back to your question, Leland, what we've got to look at here is, TV and the internet. There is, obviously there's a huge gap here. Yeah, I always say to everybody, this is not Hollywood, and we can't expect these people to start doing something like YouTube. So it is optimized at a level to just, to stream, at a good quality. We're now giving you the opportunity to do, close enough to using YouTube's back end on top of this, which is okay. Yeah. Right. Now that's taking away the load and the strain of certain things, so that's pretty good. But we can't expect everybody to come up in there and stream full HD up here.
I'm at 99% CPU, guys. How am I looking? This is crazy.
You're okay. It won't tank out. I think you'll be okay.
Crap. I gotta figure out what's sucking up all the.
Just checking your system tray to see if these.
Sir, in case you guys are just joining us today, what Will and Leon and I are talking about is an article that was just published recently, a few days back, by Nathan Haig, and this is pretty much a commentary on where Blab's headed and where people who have been here for quite a while think Blab's headed if they don't do some serious marketing strategy to come up with a way to monetize the back end of the site. Because obviously live streaming, going through TalkBox like they are and creating this platform, they have to pay for the bandwidth. They have to pay for the recordings. They have to pay for the audio recording. There's a lot of money involved here that many people don't realize comes along with a free platform. So the comments that were made by Nathan were, how can Blab possibly sustain itself? How can they stay alive in an atmosphere that's not producing an income? Well, the comments behind the scenes are obviously Blab has a very, let's just say, deep-pocketed VC or venture capitalist that's putting some money into this platform to help them build. Go ahead.
I'm going to try to reload. I made him co-host because he's the only one I could see on this thing. So I'm going to try to reload. I'll be right back. But keep going.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
And it's just one of those things that it comes down to what is going to happen over the next, 365 days. Let me get Stephen in here. Looks like
that's a good idea. Yeah, you bring it in here. Thanks a lot. Yeah, great stuff.
calling in. That's the weirdest thing ever. I'm not the one calling in, but that's from before. Why it's showing up? I didn't click on anything. Looks like William might get bonked.
I'll kick him. We're going to just kick you out just to make sure you're okay.
Did you make the Tech Buzz a host?
No, it was actually William because obviously he could only see Steve. Yeah, Steve. Yeah,
here right now.
Yeah, continue. We've got it. Good.
Well, it comes down to if they don't do what they should be doing, which obviously we think they should be doing, is finding ways to promote Blab to the big players, finding ways to generate ad revenue on the front end, finding ways to generate a revenue on the back end. It's hard to say. So a lot of people are speculating. A lot of people are saying, is Blab ever going to really pan out, or is it going to go the way of Ello and just disappear off the face of the earth and no one's ever going to hear of it again? It's hard to say. We don't know for sure what direction Blab's taking because they've been pretty silent about it. They haven't said much to anyone about what's coming next. So we can only speculate. And we leave that to those who are probably better at it than some of us. I don't like to speculate on platforms like this, but I see a lot more coming also. There's a lot more coming down the road. There's other live streaming platforms that have been broadcasting that they're going to open that haven't even opened their doors yet. So, and there's others like, Meerkat did a huge about face recently because they realized that they couldn't compete against Periscope. So where are they going to go now? Is this something? And I see Steven's here in the house. I just realized, Steven, it sounds to me, or it looks to me like you're kind of stepping out of Blab as any type of distinct platform. You're broadcasting out here. I know you've talked about pulling back, but it's one of those things where I saw on one of your shows today, you're going to be doing your chat stream outside of Blab. So, I'd really appreciate your comment on why you decided to do that. I'm just now starting to broadcast HD here on Blab through the drop-in feature while I broadcast out to several other places at the same time, so that if something does go wrong, I have my own recordings. I produce my own content on my end so that I'm not relying on Blab to do it for me. So that's all I got so far. But
I think it's a very, very good business decision. I mean, I try to say to everybody, okay, listen, there's a new platform. You've got to be very, very cautious. And you can use this as a tape head. Okay, you can, as a different medium to record on and a different source. Fine, great stuff. But yes, again, if any business person will look at the Blab platform and try.
Sorry,
you really got to take it and say, is this going to work for my business? Because I can't possibly put my eggs in and say, okay, this is going to work for my business straight off. And I would say, listen, just take it slowly. We don't know what's going to happen. There are going to be changes. There are going to be things going to go wrong. So, and just trying to get people to this particular platform is difficult enough. Majority of the end consumers, they don't have a Twitter account. I've just recently really got into Twitter and said, okay, fair enough, time to log in. But consumers have a problem. They think their system's been hijacked by this camera. Can people see you? Blah 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 blah. So they're frightened. They're phobic of this. But not to say, Blab itself, and I think from a business decision, they're going to try and do 1 year of testing and get enough data to see, how they position itself in the marketplace. Now, they're obviously looking at their competitors. This is why they built a platform to say, hey, Periscope, let's look at that. And what are the faults? So they've taken all the summary of the last year's, whatever it may be, and put it on this platform. They've done a wonderful job here now. Now, the other platforms are probably going to do exactly the same thing. They're going to look at Blab as a competitor. How can we now, take what Blab's done and change it around? Whether or not they will follow suit, whether or not, again, one of the bigger clients will come in and take the scoop up Blab, This is what they probably want to do. I mean, any business person will say, okay, it's about customer acquisition here, and this will get bought out by somebody else, and that's what they're looking to do. Yeah. That's my take on it. This is what they're doing. They're going to get the crowd. Somebody's going to buy it up and then sell it on to somebody else.
Yeah.
Any business. I mean, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you there. Willie, what do you think?
Well, that's a scary proposition. You know why? Because when we sit here and we invest, I think all of us invest a certain amount of time, which is irreplaceable in here in one fashion or another. We either broadcast, produce shows, or we produce other people's shows behind the scenes. And when you're doing it all by yourself, a one-man show, the proposition or the specter of this being grown like a chicken in a farm, given steroids to grow 3 to 4 times the rate of regular growth, and then sown or taken to the butcher, it makes me ask, where in the hell does that leave us? And if I'm so used to the way Blab's infrastructure and their upper staff run things, am I going to have to readapt to the new owners? Are there going to be restrictions to me doing this? That's scary. But on the other hand, it's kind of like all of this is free space until you get them to your own website. And it's kind of like you have to roll with the punches. You have to roll with whatever they decide to do and adapt. But I know a lot of us, we complain, and that's human nature. Complaining is part of human nature. And there's opportunity and then anxiety and that worry when it comes to marketers, because you can show people how to deal with such things and how to do what maybe Steven is saying, get them off of here onto your own area of domain. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings about the whole thing, but it's just like anything in life,
Yeah, I mean,
well, there's a big.
Go ahead.
Well, Leon, the thing I just wanted to touch upon, because he did mention the word free there, and I think we need to really understand the truth of the matter. Yeah, we're getting a free platform right now, okay, because it's in beta. I just put a link in there for Ustream.tv, which used to be free, okay? We used to be able to broadcast on Ustream a few years ago. If you look at the pricing now, what it costs to stream, I mean, you can still stream out there for free.
You get the ads and stuff on it.
It's ad-based. There's a lot of other stuff going on. But if you want to be a pro and have all the capabilities that are available to you on Ustream, it's $99 a month at minimum. Yep. And it goes up from there to the high-end dollars, where the real broadcasters are paying hundreds of dollars a month to use these platforms.
Creative Live uses them.
Yeah, and when you look at the scalability of Blab and the amount of money that it's going to cost to scale this platform out, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to have to start charging for this service. If you compare it to any of the others that are out there charging the same, and there are some that are charging like $500 a month for these services. So is that where Blab's going to head, and is it going to change up its entire user base by doing so? Because that's the likelihood of what's going to happen, is it's only going to be the people who have money to broadcast are going to be able to be the ones sitting in these seats doing the video production itself. And the people in the chat are just going to be the watchers. They're going to be the ones that are here for the content. These platforms do not survive without the content creators like you and I, and Leon, Willie. It's people like us who sit in these seats and produce the content that make these platforms work.
All right.
If it's all sitting around waiting to watch somebody, we best have somebody who we're here to watch. But go ahead, Leon.
Now, guys who's watching, well, there's 17 people in here right now today.
Yeah.
Now, they already got us because you've created the content. It's sitting on the Blab server. It's nowhere else. So if they switch on that money switch, they can take away the content because you can't now. You've lost all the content.
Absolutely.
So this is the situation. So no, I don't blame them. This is how it is. This is business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Many people don't realize this. Yeah. So again, the average consumer is not going to go in here and say, okay, I'm going to try and get a person out. They don't know the strategy because they're just thinking, okay, it's cool. We got these 4 people here broadcasting, blah 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 blah, and they're looking to try and get the clients. They're not looking to understand what's going to happen in the long term because they don't get. Some people are not in that business model And when we're thinking from broadcasters, what we want our home, we've got to make sure people come in and out, and try to even get the quality up. We wanted to stream it somewhere else. We don't want to go over it twice in there. But welcome to Steve from Tech Buzz. I mean, I've seen you for quite a while. I mean, just want to introduce you on your takes.
Steve from the Tech Buzz.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of comment on this because I think it's pretty awesome. I just read the article this morning. I kind of was Blab detoxing over the weekend, and I kind of got really bent out of shape over it. Honestly, I've
been there.
Honestly, guys, after they canceled the last town hall, I'm just like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I acting like I have all this stuff invested into this platform when in reality, my main audience, my main conversation piece is outside of Blab. And, I was talking with Marty and some of the other guys that I know, and they're just like, you need to get back to where the Tech Buzz was, because the Tech Buzz was before Blab, and the Tech Buzz will be there after Blab. And, in reality, that's correct. I mean, that's something Marty and I have preached since we've gotten on this platform. Like, you have to have a hub. Leland, you're probably one of the first people that, has watched the stuff that we've done and actually adopted that. You're trying to branch out. You're trying to, create that home space where you can direct people. A lot of people on Blab don't have that. And I think that's what's frustrating to me, because there's a lot of people, even as much as we hate the marketers, there's a lot of marketers that I've friended that since they changed the homepage, I haven't been able to even watch any of their stuff. I mean, it's great background stuff, right? And so it's almost like they're dismantling the community and they're putting people in cliques right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Well, but this is it. I mean, again, I think this is when we work with technology and businesses, the CEO says, okay, they want this, and not forget about the end user. So as we're not in the boardroom and we don't make the decisions, hence why you see that page just totally get dismantled in the way it is. But I think it takes conversations like this where they can actually see this and say the user's feedback. I mean, I try to serve Blab. They say, listen, you've got to have a balance here. If you really want the users to say, okay, they're going to go out and help you get more people to this platform. That's all you got to do. Do one crazy change, and these users will be complaining till the cows come home. Yeah. So listen to the. I think they are now listening to the users, and this is the key thing. They are listening,
but we don't know.
They're making. No, they are because to roll out, the 60x9, they listen to that, because I was on a Blab the other day, and I was I'm not going to name the names another day. There was actually a bit pressured to actually drop in that new feature, and they are listening to certain things that we are doing, but they have to gradually go out and do things, because guess what? We've got to understand, Blab is not a huge team. They're not a big corporate company.
No, it's not.
So they're dealing with so many things behind the scene. The other day there was something serious that went on Blab. They had to literally go out and tackle that. This is happening all every day in ins and out. They're on a platform that is open source. They're out for everything. So there's certain things they've got to put into consideration here. And again, as I said before, the number one focus is stability. And I think that's a very good move. Yeah, because this thing can go down tomorrow morning, because it's very, very, intensive at times. You're dealing with two things. We're talking about web and mobile. But do we serve first?
But I think if you ask William, just when I got in here, I was just coming in to see what you guys were chatting about. He could only see me. Right. Yeah. So the stability still is not there, and they're adding all these pointless features. I mean, they again, maybe I'm just talking because I'm angry, but it seems like they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. Right. Does anybody else get that feeling, like they're saying, well, we want stability, but we're going to throw all these useless features out there?
Well,
like private Blabs. Am I wrong, or am I just an angry community member that's going to be on their crap list today?
No, well, listen, I've been where you're at least 3 times. I've gone to Leon twice. I went to Beauty Bubble once, and it's kind of like it was going to be a rage quit. Now, I'm gonna finish my comment, and I would like for you guys to answer this question on the side because I feel you have the best answer. For the longest, we had this. It was somewhat stable, but we kept saying it was in beta. But as the community grew, we kept saying we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this. And if you don't remember, they said we want to make sure that the basics are stable before we start adding stuff on top of it. And then they started adding stuff on top of it. And the stuff they started adding didn't really work necessarily the way we thought it should, even though this is beta. But we continue to demand. We want to share stuff. We want to do screen sharing, slide sharing, all this other stuff. And they kind of gave in to our requests. Now, I don't know if it made stability go away or if it's going to be just as stable as it was. But they're trying on one hand, but on the other hand, they do have an investor, and I don't know what the time frame is for this investor. I'm imagining, or I'm assuming that he said you guys got a blank check or you got this much for salaries for 2 or 3 years, but eventually you're going to have to show me something. You're going to have to reach a goal point or whatever. Now, the question I would like for you guys to answer is Chris Kubernetes says, great discussion, guys. If Blab is dying, what should we do as content creators do to pivot? Should we jump ship and take our audience to Periscope? You guys go ahead.
I'll start. I'm not a Periscope guy myself. I don't think you have to jump ship. More importantly, the Blab has its plus points. So you can use it with a tape head. You can record in here and use it as an outlet. It's there. It can do a lot of things. But again, have your strategy. If you come in here and you want to use it in your business, does it work well? Does it generate revenue and warrant you being here? If it doesn't, okay, don't take it wherever you want to take it. But I think that's my state. I mean, it can work for you. I don't think it's dying because I can see the statistics here, and guess what? My objective as a business owner is to bring on clients here and make them revenue. Yeah, that's what I do, and the clients that I bring here, end of the day, they actually can warrant being here for 2 to 3 hours, whatever it takes. If it doesn't generate revenue, again, think about it. And that's my say on this one.
And I'm not a big, when it comes down to broadcasting, I don't have Facebook Live authorized on my account yet. I don't use Periscope at all. I play around with Snapchat a little bit, but more for fun and games, honestly, with my people than I do as a business platform. And honestly, I think it has come to the point where you can't go live stream without talking about business anymore. And I think that's the sad truth about where social media is headed. It has not become social. It's become business. And that's all it is anymore is business. How can I make a buck off of social? And I think it's kind of detrimental to the entire community involved with social media to some extent because it takes away the social aspect of it. Now, when it comes to platforms like Blab, which I just put a link in a minute ago to both the article we're discussing here and a link to TalkBox, which is what Blab is built on. Okay, the article talks about how they're paying fees for recording and time on air and things of that nature, which is it's a high cost, folks. This thing is not cheap. Their venture capitalist probably has deep pockets for maybe 12 to 24 months. But at some point, Blab's going to have to make a marketing effort and come up with a key focus strategy that's going to earn an income on this platform. So the discussion is, how are they going to do that? Are they going to start charging us? Is it going to be ad driven? Is it going to remain in the venture capitalist hands? We don't know. But if you're building your business out here and you're relying on a platform to be your business base, you better have second thoughts about what you're doing before you lock in. Because like Stephen and I and William honestly started his show this way this morning. We're broadcasting out in high def onto several different platforms from our home base, from here where we sit. We record our show from here where we sit. And what we do is we don't rely on the recordings that we get from Blab, but it is the community. As Marty McPadden has mentioned out in the chat, as Stephen has mentioned in the past, they don't want to just leave and go to their own voice chat platform because there is a huge community here to contend with. So do we consider this a catch-all place for all of our business? Absolutely not. Is it a great place to hang out? Certainly. But we have as business owners to look forward into the future and decide, is this a good strategy for ourselves to rely on one platform? And that's where I think we all agree that it's not a good strategy for ourselves. So, Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, just to answer that question that William threw out there for the gentleman in the chat room, I think that, over the weekend, like I said, I did a Blab detox, but I was talking with some guys, and one of my buddies, Amnon, he was like, listen, man, he said, your goal is to reach the people where they're at. That's what you talk to people about. That's what you do. But you're investing yourself too much into this Blab ecosystem that you're making Blab your hub and not the tech buzz. And he's absolutely right. Like, I don't think anybody should drop Blab, even if you want to, go to these outside sources like Leland was showing, like Ustream, StreamUp, Twitch, whatever it is that your niche falls under. I think you need to, if you have the resources available, you need to branch out. If you're on Periscope, you should be using Periscope and Blab. I don't think you should drop one for the other, but I also don't think you should put yourself in a position where you're totally invested in one platform, because in the event something happens, and again, we're all speculating, which is what Blab doesn't like, but we're doing it anyways. We're speculating that the end is near, right? I mean, I'm kind of joking about this because they did make some comments. They don't like when users are speculating, but we're going to speculate here. Plan for the worst, I was always told, and hope for the best, no matter what platform you're on, no matter what you're doing. And I would give, I'm going to go completely unbiased here and state that, listen, if you're in the process of being a content creator, like the guys on this panel and the people that are in the chat room, you need to go where your audience is. Don't worry about what the name of the platform is. Don't worry about, is it going to be here today and gone tomorrow? You need to have a website. And I think, Leland, you were saying you were in the process of making your website more video centric, right? It's been blogs more or less, for a long time, and now you're moving it more toward video, right?
Yep. Yes, certainly.
So I really think that's important, and I think we all just need to get back to the focus and look at Blab. Yes, it does do good for community, but we need to look at Blab as a toolbox, as a tool, as a utility, and not something that is a be-all, end-all solution. That's just my take.
And I think just to add to that before William takes it back, one thing we have to remember is in 2016, you're going to see a lot more live stream platforms come up on that same. Anybody can go to TalkBox and create something like this. Is off the shelf. What you see in front of you right now is off the shelf software that people are paying to utilize to create this platform. It's not like they created an all new system of build or their own coding that created everything. There's certainly some, nuance that was pieced together to make it what it is. This isn't just something you buy in a box as a whole, but there are a lot more coming down the road. We've got guys like Michael Scarezzi coming together with GoLiveWith.com. That's going to be opening doors very soon. And I've seen several other little guys that are coming out. FireTalk.com is out there doing its thing, although it's hard to say where that one's going. And there are others that are pivoting, like Meerkat. So
Go Live With.
What's that?
Go Live With. I'm still waiting for them.
Yeah, and they haven't opened yet. But I've been in contact. I talk with Mike on the phone, and I've emailed back and forth with Mike, and he's just wanting to make sure that his platform is stable before he opens the doors. So he's doing a lot of alpha testing inside of his end where he hasn't even taken it to beta yet. He's going to make sure that at least those people that are running the show behind the scenes know their job, know how to maintain the equipment at the hardware and software levels, and then he'll say, okay, come on in, come test it for me. So, and I'm waiting for that word. And I've brought several people over that platform to at least try it out. But there'll be more. There'll be more.
I don't know. I mean, I think, guys, you may have known. I mean, YouTube is coming out with something. That's what I'm hearing from some people. They've got a new service. If that's what it is. I mean, I haven't seen any sort of literature or anything like that. But see, there you go. So, I think, again, for what Blab is at the present moment, you don't see any other platform where you can have 26 people in a space of 30, 40 minutes congregate all in one place, and hang around and engage in the topic in real time. So this is a unique selling point here, and it can be sold in many different ways. Yes, they may go into a paid subscription area or whatever it may be for the higher end people. Yeah, with again, they'll probably still will have this because this is the driving force of it. Yes, the business people will understand we need bandwidth, we need security, we need to take it to the level. Yeah, this is what we pay for. Yeah, that's what we do. It's business. We want to know sure that guess what, this server's going to be up, and again, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, and if that's what they want to do, and they can get the right people and they get the right servers, whoop-de-doo. We're off and away, and we can use this platform to go out there to now broadcast to CDNs. We can do whatever we want with it. We're just going to make sure that
I got a jet. I got to end this in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go around here, and I want you guys to give me like a minute of your closing statements, and we're going to end it. Go ahead. We'll start with Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I just think that no matter what, we're all passionate about Blab, and we're all passionate about the people that are here. I think it's more so the relationships than anything else. I think we've all made some great relationships here on Blab. And the fact that we can't find each other is really something that we're all like, I'm just going to say it, we're all PO'd about, right? And so I think that as long as we just keep doing what we're doing, let the Blab team do what they're doing, but we have to voice our opinion. We can't just look at the 2 or 3 people in the community that we look up to and let them be the voice. We all need to voice our opinion because that's the only way change is going to happen. And I said my piece.
Absolutely.
Leland.
All right, William. Hey, I want to thank you for having us out here today and changing up the show format like you did at the last minute, just because that article made itself clear. Obviously, if you haven't read the article, go out there and look for it, folks. It's Nathan Haig's article on why Blab is dying. It's been tweeted out several times out. And to maybe answer Jeremy Murphy's question before we split out of here, is everybody filling the Snapchat? I think everybody's trying to find a platform to earn an income from. And I'm sad to say that it's become more of a business proposition than a social endeavor. And I would really like to see social media get back to what it was meant to be, which was social interaction, engagement. Not so much, the content has to be there, but all in all, in reality, folks, it's between you and I and me and the next guy as to how business is going to move forward from here. We shouldn't just be out here promoting sell. We should be out here having fun. So,
thank you very much. 10 seconds. You know what? I agree with everybody here at the end of the day, guys. Do your best. Help Blab be a better place. Voice your opinion. Talk to them and give constructive criticism. They are trying. We'll probably see some information on this next town hall, and hopefully they can give us answers and listen to our prayers.
All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for Leland Bess, the Tech Buzz, Steven, and Leon Henry. You guys made this a great show. I really enjoyed it. And until next time, take care. I got to meet some buddies for dinner. Be safe, everybody.